I'm Azrienoch, this is XDA TV, and you don't know it, but last night I went out with friends for Halloween. I would have washed off all my zombie makeup when I got back, but it always seems to take me a few days to get off eyeliner, so instead of being called emo, I left all the zombie makeup on. Because if zombies are anything, they're non-emo. Week 43 of 2011, and as you can see, I'm sitting outside. It's because people are sleeping inside. This way I can be a little bit louder. Not too loud. It's morning, but it's early still, and I don't want to wake up the drug dealer that lives on the corner. He gets cranky sometimes. Get it? Cranky. So, while I can be louder out here, I can't be too loud, which sucks because I sometimes get kind of loud whenever I'm angry or frustrated. So please, news, don't piss me off. So to start things off, nobody has won the HTC Amaze 4G yet, though several people told me that they're working on it, so shouldn't be long. Also shouldn't be hard. I'm pretty sure I could make this app in App Inventor. And you know what? If it turns out that nobody wants the Amaze, I just might do that. So on the forums, the HTC Titan, Radar, Sensation XL, Samsung Galaxy Note all planted roots in our dirt. Not that XDA is dirt, it's a gardening metaphor. Also, more devices were added to the legacy forums, so if your device is missing, that's where it is. And now, here's Bob.
Brains. 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 Brains!
I think it's adorable how she wants to be just like me. So first things first, a big fat congratulations to our portal admin, EGZ Thunder 1, and the entire Newswriters team for publishing their 4,000th article this week. You did an incredible job. You're doing an incredible job. And I'm really excited to see where the portal's gonna go next. Anyway, the pretty portal people got their hands on a few new devices this week. EGZ Thunder 1 wrote his thoughts on the HTC Titan, and Mike88 got to spend some time with the Sensation XL and the Galaxy Nexus. It's a little unfortunate that the Nexus and the XL are going on the market about the same time. Somebody's gonna compare the two, and I don't really think that's fair to either one of them. The Sensation XL is basically the Titan, except with a dual-core processor and Android, which is great for the Titan, but the XL is about on par with Android devices. I think that the Sensation XL is meant more to compete with the Galaxy S2 than the Galaxy Nexus. The XL doesn't have Ice Cream Sandwich, and although the screen is the same size, the resolution is different. But hey, I'm sure that Ice Cream Sandwich for the XL is coming soon, and actually Mike88 thought that the XL's speed and clarity was better. At any rate, HTC is unveiling a new device on November 3rd, and that's the device that will compete with the Galaxy Nexus. Also this week, more security holes. Yes, more! This time with Dolphin Browser. Apparently it's got its own sort of IQ app with its own problems. Look, exploits happen. But aren't there enough coincidences here to come up with some sort of conclusion? Something like, okay, how about we just collect the data that we're actually going to use? That way we minimize the amount that could be stolen if something went wrong. Yeah, I get how user statistics can improve the user experience. But there is no reason in a non-dictatorship that anyone would need to collect all the data just so that they'd know what to do next. On top of that, even if HTC or the carriers or the Dolphin Browser explained what all they were collecting and why, most users wouldn't read it, wouldn't understand it, and wouldn't care until they saw all of that data stolen. That the problem is possible, and the possibilities ignored, is negligent and irresponsible. I'm doing my best to stay quiet here, but Jesus Christ! On a kind of related note, something crept onto the portal this week. Well, no, it's been creeping for a while. It made itself blatantly obvious this week. Certainly changed how I think quite a bit. US carriers are the enemy. Yeah, I guess that's it. People who don't use an American cell phone provider There is no possible way that you can understand the power that the carriers have here. I'd tell you to ask any American, but most of them don't know either. So let me give you an example. Well, I was going to talk about Verizon, but I'm trying not to make a scene outside. Just go read that article. The link is in the description. Okay, how about this? This week, HTC rolled out the first wave of updates to the Carrier IQ apps. They had that security flaw that Trevi found. HTC rolled out those same exact updates in Canada last week. And the same update the week before in other countries around the world. So I got this sneaking suspicion, call it psychic awareness, that HTC scrambled to find a fix, found one, and the US carriers like Sprint just now got around to checking it out. Customer service and speed are not everything, and you do know. This is XDA developers. Support, freedom, privacy, security, those are pretty important too, considering how we engage our devices. What this means to me, how it changed how I think, is that manufacturers get dragged through the mud for the sins of the carriers. And they put up with it because they're scared to death of losing the carrier as a client, which is another thing that's pretty unique to America. Buying phones at a discounted price with a 2-year contract. And the carriers in other countries may offer the same thing or better, but there are prepaid plans with unlimited data that put contracts to shame, even if you pay the full SIM-unlocked price for the phone. Also, a large percent of the phones sold outside the US are not bought at a carrier store. In America, that's exactly where pretty much all of the phones are bought, at a carrier store or one of its licensed dealers. And why? You know that you can get a prepaid SIM card with unlimited data for 50 or 60 bucks? I just found a prepaid service called Straight Talk that has unlimited everything for $45 per month or less, depending on how many months you want to pay at the time. So factor in the cost of a SIM-unlocked phone of your choice, and I guarantee you it's still cheaper than what you'll get from a US carrier. They are seriously evil. And that's the moral of the news this week. I hate carriers. Yeah, I have my beefs with the manufacturers, but I feel like I'm pressuring them to do better. But the carriers? This wall is more likely to give a shit about right and wrong and how it treats people. Always in my way, wall. Huh? What's that? You're offering a door now? That's great! You see, Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, you can learn something. So again, I'm Azrienoch and this is XDA TV. I'm gonna go wash the shit off my face now.